Hello there, and welcome to the Sleep Journal. Tonight, we are going to meet the loneliest travelers in the galaxy. They have no sun. They have no home star at all. Scientists call them rogue planets. Some call them orphan worlds. They drift silently through deep space. No orbit, no light, no warmth from above. Just endless, quiet darkness, stretching in every direction. It sounds like a sad fate. But tonight, we are going to see it differently. We are going to see it as freedom. A world that answers to nothing. A world that owes nothing to any star. It simply exists, patiently, exactly as it is. Astronomers now believe rogue planets may outnumber the stars themselves. Billions of them, scattered across our galaxy alone. Most were once part of a normal solar system. Long ago, something went wrong. Gravity tugged too hard. A collision knocked them loose. They were flung out into permanent night. And there they remain, drifting forever untethered. Before we begin, if evenings like this help you drift off, feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a gentle comment below. It helps other tired minds find their way here. But for now, there is nothing you need to do. Let your jaw unclench. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breathing slow down completely. Imagine floating gently, weightless, in silent space. No sound, no light pollution, no noise at all. Just stillness, deep and complete. Let us begin. This kind of stillness does not exist anywhere on Earth. Even our quietest deserts still carry wind. Even our darkest nights still carry starlight. A rogue planet knows a different kind of quiet. Absolute, unbroken, older than most stars we can see. Tonight, we borrow a little of that peace. Not the peace of comfort, the peace of complete, undisturbed solitude. Think about how rare true silence really is on Earth. Even in the quietest room, a clock ticks somewhere. Even in the deepest forest, leaves rustle gently. A rogue planet knows none of that. No wind, no insects, no distant hum of traffic. Just pure, unbroken stillness, stretching in every direction, forever. Scientists have spent decades trying to understand these strange, lonely worlds. Each new discovery adds another piece to an enormous, quiet puzzle. Tonight, we are simply going to explore that puzzle together, slowly. No pressure to remember every detail. No need to follow every fact perfectly. Just a gentle walk through the coldest, quietest corners of our galaxy. Let your body settle further into the bed beneath you. Let your mind soften, the way starlight softens as it travels across billions of miles. There is nowhere else you need to be tonight. Only here. Resting, drifting slowly towards sleep. Consider how many rogue planets might exist within just a small patch of sky. A patch you could cover with your thumb, held at arm's length. Scientists estimate that patch alone could contain thousands of these hidden worlds, none of them visible. None of them announcing themselves in any way. Just silent, dark shapes, drifting steadily through that same small patch of space. It is a strange thing to imagine, staring up at an apparently empty stretch of night, knowing it is not empty at all, simply quiet and dark, and full of things we cannot yet see. This is one of the more humbling lessons astronomy offers, again and again. What appears empty is rarely truly empty. It is simply waiting for better tools, sharper eyes, or more patient observation. This same lesson applies far beyond astronomy, if we let it. How often do we assume something is empty, simply because we cannot immediately see what fills it? A quiet room, a silent conversation, a calm evening with nothing obviously happening at all. Sometimes, quiet does not mean empty. Sometimes, it simply means something patient and steady, existing just beneath the surface. Tonight, as you rest, allow that same gentle possibility to settle over you. This stillness you feel right now is not nothing. It is simply your own body, quietly doing the patient work of letting go. Let us start with how these worlds are born, or rather, reborn into solitude. Most planets form around a young star. Dust and gas slowly clump together. Over millions of years, gravity pulls them into a sphere. Eventually, a full planet takes shape. But young solar systems are chaotic places. Multiple planets often form close together. Their gravity pulls and tugs at one another. Sometimes, one planet gets pushed too far. It gains enough speed to escape the star's pull completely. Once that happens, there is no turning back. The planet drifts outward, faster and faster. Eventually, it leaves the solar system entirely. It becomes a rogue planet, forever alone. Astronomers have modeled this process many times. In most young systems, at least one planet is ejected. This means our galaxy may hold more rogue planets than planets in orbit. Some researchers suspect the number could reach the trillions, each one carrying its own quiet, forgotten history. A world that once had daylight, a world that once had seasons, now reduced to permanent, starless night. There is something almost gentle about this violence. Once it settles, the chaos of birth eventually fades into calm. The planet stops fighting for space. It simply drifts, slow and steady forever. No more collisions, no more gravity wars, only the smooth, endless silence of open space. Scientists call this early chaotic period planetary migration. Young planets do not stay exactly where they formed. They shift, drift, and sometimes collide with one another. Computer models show this happening in nearly every simulated solar system. It is not a rare exception. It appears to be the normal rule. Our own solar system likely went through something similar long ago. Jupiter and Saturn may have shifted position dramatically in their early years. Smaller planets caught in the crossfire were sometimes ejected completely. This means every star system in the galaxy may have contributed lost worlds, quietly adding, one planet at a time, to the population of wanderers. It is strange to think our own cosmic neighborhood may have sent something out there too. A sibling world, lost to darkness, long before Earth ever formed. Somewhere, it continues drifting, indifferent to the chaos that created it. Astronomers have given this early violent period a rather gentle nickname. They call it the planetary game of musical chairs. Each planet jockeys for a stable position as the young system settles down. Some find a lasting seat. Others are left standing, pushed entirely out of the game. It is a playful way to describe something genuinely dramatic and forceful. Entire worlds, sometimes larger than Earth, sent hurtling into permanent exile. And yet, once the music stops, so to speak, the drama ends completely. The ejected planet simply drifts onward, calm and steady, forever afterward. No more competition, no more collisions to avoid, only quiet, uneventful motion, continuing indefinitely through open space. There is something almost merciful in how quickly the chaos gives way to calm. A brief, violent beginning, followed by billions of years of undisturbed peace. It is worth remembering that this same pattern shapes many things, far beyond planets. A difficult beginning does not have to predict a difficult ending. Sometimes the hardest part happens early, quickly, and is simply followed by long, quiet stability afterward. A rogue planet does not spend its life reliving its violent ejection. It simply moves forward, carrying only its current path, not its old story. There is something worth borrowing from that tonight, as you let go of today. Whatever felt chaotic earlier does not need to define the rest of this night. You are allowed the same kind of quiet, settled calm that follows every storm eventually. Storms, after all, are temporary by nature. They arrive suddenly, cause their disturbance, and then, inevitably, pass. What remains afterward is usually calmer than before, precisely because the storm has already spent its energy completely. Not every rogue planet was cast out from a star. Some never had one to begin with. Deep within collapsing clouds of gas and dust, stars are born. But not everything in that cloud becomes a star. Small clumps sometimes collapse on their own. They gather just enough mass to form a planet, but they never gather enough to ignite. These planets are born already alone. Scientists call them free-floating planets by birth. They never knew sunlight, not even for a moment. From their very first instant, they belonged to darkness. This distinction matters to astronomers studying planetary origins. It tells us something about how common solitude really is in the universe. Being alone, it turns out, is not always an accident. Sometimes, it is simply how a world begins. There is no drama in this kind of birth. No dramatic ejection. No violent collision. Just quiet formation in the coldest, darkest folds of space. A slow gathering of matter with no star waiting nearby. It is, in its own way, the calmest kind of beginning imaginable. No mistakes to survive. No collisions to avoid. Only patient, gradual assembly, far from any light at all. Researchers studying star-forming regions have found many examples of this process. Small, dense clumps of gas collapsing on their own, separate from any nearby star. Some are barely larger than a few times the mass of Jupiter. Too small to ever ignite as a star themselves. Too large to simply drift apart and disperse. They settle into a stable, planet-like shape instead, never orbiting anything, never feeling the warmth of a sun, not even once. Astronomers sometimes find these young, free-floating worlds still glowing faintly, leftover heat from their own formation, slowly radiating away into space. Over millions of years, that heat fades completely. What remains is a cold, dark world, exactly like the rogue planets ejected from other systems. Two very different beginnings, arriving at the very same quiet fate. Alone, patient, and entirely undisturbed by anything nearby. Researchers studying star-forming clusters have found many of these lonely young worlds together, clustered in the same collapsing cloud, yet never bound to one another by gravity. Each one drifts independently, following its own separate path through the young nebula. Some eventually drift close enough to a forming star to be captured into orbit. Others continue drifting freely, never joining any system at all. This randomness feels fitting, somehow, for objects defined by solitude from birth. No guarantee of belonging, no promise of ever finding a star to call home. Just quiet chance, deciding whether a planet spends its life orbiting or wandering free. Either way, it continues, patient and steady, exactly as physics allows. There is a certain comfort in knowing that both paths lead to the same quiet outcome eventually, whether captured by a star or left to wander freely forever. Both kinds of planets eventually settle into their own steady rhythm, undisturbed by their different beginnings. It does not matter, in the end, exactly how a thing came to be. What matters is how peacefully it continues from that point onward. Tonight, however your day began, however chaotic or calm it felt at the start, you have arrived here now, settled, resting, ready for the same quiet continuation every wandering planet eventually finds. Consider how strange it is that both paths, captured and free, arrive at the same peaceful outcome eventually. One path involves belonging to a system. The other involves belonging only to itself. And yet, physics does not seem to favor one outcome over the other. Both are simply valid, stable, and complete in their own separate ways. There is no wrong path here, only different quiet destinations. That thought alone may be worth carrying with you tonight, gently, into rest. Finding a rogue planet is remarkably difficult. They emit almost no light of their own. They reflect no starlight because no star is nearby. For years, scientists doubted they could ever be detected directly. Then researchers developed a clever method called microlensing. When a rogue planet passes in front of a distant star, its gravity bends the star's light. For a brief moment, the star appears to brighten. Astronomers watch millions of stars, waiting for this tiny flicker. It usually lasts only a few hours. Then it fades and never repeats again. This is the only proof many rogue planets will ever leave behind. A single fleeting flash of light, borrowed briefly from a star. It sounds almost poetic. A planet with no light of its own, briefly borrowing someone else's glow. Just long enough to be noticed. Just long enough to be counted. Then it continues on its way, vanishing back into darkness. Thousands of these tiny flickers have already been recorded. Each one represents a real, physical world, drifting somewhere out there right now, completely unaware it was ever seen at all. This method requires enormous patience from researchers. They must watch millions of stars, night after night, for years. Most nights reveal nothing unusual at all. Then, without warning, a single star brightens briefly. Astronomers rush to analyze the data before the moment fades completely. It is a strange kind of detective work, searching for something invisible, using only the faint clues it accidentally leaves behind. Some scientists have compared it to listening for a whisper in a crowded room. You cannot see the source directly. You can only notice the small effect it leaves behind, briefly, before it disappears again into silence. Some astronomers describe this technique as astronomy's most patient sport, watching, waiting, recording, for months or years, for a single fleeting moment. Unlike photographing a planet directly, there is no second attempt possible. Once the flicker passes, that particular observation window is gone forever. This forces researchers to build enormous automated systems, scanning the sky continuously. Computers sift through mountains of data, flagging anything unusual for closer human review. Even with all this technology, most nights yield nothing notable at all. But occasionally, buried in the noise, a genuine signal appears. A brief, telltale brightening, matching exactly what a passing rogue planet should produce. Those rare successes make years of quiet, careful monitoring entirely worthwhile. Researchers involved in these long-term surveys often describe a particular kind of satisfaction. Not the excitement of instant discovery, but the quiet reward of sustained, patient attention, checking the same data night after night for years without any guarantee of success. And then, occasionally, being rewarded with a single brief flicker, confirming years of careful work. This kind of patience is rare in a world that often demands quick results. Yet it remains, quietly, one of the most reliable paths toward genuine discovery. Slow, careful, willing to wait as long as necessary for the answer to finally arrive. Some observatories have maintained the exact same nightly routine for well over a decade. The same telescope, the same patch of sky, the same careful checklist, repeated faithfully. It is a strange kind of devotion, dedicating years to something that might never yield a result at all. And yet, that devotion is exactly what has made this entire field possible. You might expect a rogue planet to be a frozen, lifeless rock. In most cases, that assumption is correct. Without a sun, temperatures plunge close to absolute zero. Any atmosphere would freeze solid onto the surface. Layers of frozen nitrogen might coat the ground like snow. But scientists have found something surprising. Deep beneath that ice, heat may still exist. Radioactive decay inside the planet's core can generate warmth. This heat has nowhere to escape quickly, trapped under thick ice. Some researchers believe this could keep liquid water flowing far below the surface. An entire hidden ocean, sealed away from starlight forever. If true, it raises an extraordinary possibility. Life, perhaps, in complete darkness, far from any star at all. Not sunlight-driven life, like on Earth. Something stranger. Something powered only by heat from within. We do not know if this has ever happened, but the possibility alone is enough to make us pause. A world with no sun, quietly hiding warmth and water beneath the ice. Waiting, patiently, in the kind of silence only deep space can offer. Scientists compare this idea to certain icy moons in our own solar system. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is believed to hide a vast ocean beneath its surface, kept liquid not by sunlight, but by internal heat and gravitational pressure. If a moon can manage this trick, a rogue planet likely can too, perhaps even more easily, given enough time and the right internal composition. This changes how scientists think about where life might exist in the universe, not just near warm, sunlit stars, possibly also within countless dark, wandering worlds hidden throughout the galaxy. Each one a sealed, quiet capsule, protecting whatever might exist deep inside. We may never know for certain. These worlds are simply too far away, too dark, too difficult to study directly. But the possibility itself is worth sitting with tonight. A hidden ocean, warm and patient, drifting silently through endless cold and darkness. Scientists studying planetary interiors use careful models to estimate how long this internal heat might last. For a planet roughly the size of Earth, radioactive decay could sustain warmth for billions of years, long enough for complex chemistry to develop, slowly and patiently, deep beneath the ice, long enough, perhaps, for something resembling life to take shape in that hidden warmth. None of this is confirmed. It remains careful, informed speculation, based on what we know from our own solar system. But speculation, in science, often becomes the first careful step toward genuine discovery. Every confirmed fact once began as an untested idea, worth exploring patiently and carefully. Scientists sometimes describe this early stage of an idea as living in the realm of the plausible. Not yet proven, not yet disproven either, simply reasonable enough to justify continued careful investigation. Rogue planet oceans currently exist in exactly that space, plausible, intriguing, and not yet confirmed. It may take decades before we have the technology needed to check directly. Perhaps future missions will finally settle the question, one way or another. Until then, the possibility remains open, quietly waiting in the dark, alongside the planets themselves. There is a certain beauty in a question that refuses to close too quickly. It keeps curiosity alive. It gives future scientists something meaningful to work toward. Perhaps someday, a mission will finally travel close enough to a nearby rogue planet to check directly. Until that day arrives, we are left with careful calculation, patient modeling, and quiet wonder. All three of these, in their own way, keep the question alive and worth returning to. You are lying very still now. The day has grown distant. Your breathing has found its own pace. Slow, easy, unhurried. Imagine drifting gently through open space. No gravity pulling you in any direction. No sound at all, anywhere around you. Somewhere nearby, a lone planet drifts too. Silent, unhurried, going nowhere in particular. It does not rush. It does not worry about direction. It simply exists, exactly where it is. There is nothing chasing it, nothing waiting for it. No deadline in the darkness. Let your body borrow that same stillness now. Let your shoulders sink deeper into the bed beneath you. Let your thoughts drift, slow and directionless, like that quiet planet. You do not need a destination tonight. You do not need to solve anything or plan anything at all. You are simply allowed to drift gently into rest. Somewhere out there, this same peaceful darkness continues, endlessly, without needing anyone to notice it. You are part of that same quiet universe right now. Let your breathing slow even further. Let your hands rest, heavy and still. Nothing is required of you. Only softness, only stillness, only this slow, patient drift towards sleep. Notice how little effort this imagined world requires. It does not strain to keep moving forward. It does not fight against anything at all. Gravity, momentum, and time simply carry it along, gently, without resistance. Your own body can borrow that same effortless quality right now. You do not need to force your breathing to slow down. You do not need to push your thoughts away deliberately. Simply let them drift, the way that lonely planet drifts, without urgency or struggle. Let your fingers uncurl completely. Let your legs grow heavy against the mattress beneath you. There is no version of tonight that requires you to try harder. Rest does not need to be earned through effort. It is simply allowed to happen, quietly, the moment you stop resisting it. Somewhere far above you, that same quiet planet continues its slow, endless journey. Undisturbed, unhurried. Exactly like the rest that is waiting for you right now. Picture the surface of this quiet planet, far below you. Soft, pale ice, stretching endlessly in every direction. No footprints, no trace of anything ever having passed this way. Just smooth, undisturbed stillness, unchanged for millions of years. There is a comfort in imagining a place so completely untouched. Nothing to clean, nothing to fix, nothing waiting to be handled or managed. Only quiet, patient existence, exactly as it has always been. Let your own space feel like that tonight, even briefly. Let your mind settle into the same kind of undisturbed calm. Nothing needs handling right now. Nothing needs deciding, or managing, or solving. You are simply allowed to rest here, exactly as still, exactly as quiet, as that faraway, frozen world. Feel your own breathing continue, slow and steady, without needing your effort to guide it. Feel the weight of your body, settling more fully into the surface beneath you. There is no task waiting for you right now. No decision left to make tonight. Only this quiet, patient stillness, spreading gently through your entire body. Let it reach your shoulders. Let it reach your hands. Let it reach all the way down to your feet, heavy and warm and completely at rest. Somewhere far above you, that quiet planet continues its own slow journey, needing nothing at all. You, too, need nothing at all right now, except this soft, unhurried rest. Let the quiet of this imagined space wrap around you completely now. No sharp edges, no sudden sounds. Only smooth, endless calm, exactly like the frozen world, drifting somewhere far above you. Let your eyelids grow heavier, matching the slow, patient weight of everything around you. There is truly nothing left for you to do, only this soft surrender, into rest, into stillness, into sleep. Rogue planets come in many different sizes, Some are roughly the size of Earth. Others rival massive gas giants like Jupiter. The smaller ones are especially hard to detect. Their gravity bends starlight only slightly during microlensing events. Larger rogue planets create longer, more noticeable flickers. This means our current surveys likely miss countless smaller worlds. Future telescopes are being designed specifically to catch them. One major project, the Roman Space Telescope, aims to scan huge patches of sky continuously. Scientists expect it to reveal thousands of new rogue planets. Many may be small, rocky, and Earth-sized. This matters because rocky worlds are the most likely candidates for hidden oceans, a galaxy full of small, icy, wandering worlds, each one carrying its own quiet potential for hidden warmth below. It is strange to think how much remains hidden, simply because these worlds carry no light of their own. Every star we see announces its presence instantly. Every rogue planet stays silent, unless we happen to catch it at just the right moment. The Roman Space Telescope is named after Nancy Grace Roman, a pioneering astronomer at NASA. Her early work helped shape the entire field of space-based observation. It feels fitting that a telescope built in her honor searches for the universe's quietest, most overlooked worlds. Once launched, it will stare continuously at dense regions of our galaxy, watching hundreds of millions of stars simultaneously, waiting for the faintest flicker. Scientists expect this single mission to more than double our current count of known rogue planets. It is remarkable to think how much remains undiscovered, simply waiting for the right instrument. Every advance in technology seems to reveal a slightly larger, slightly stranger universe than before. Perhaps that pattern will continue for many decades still to come. Each new telescope peeling back another quiet, hidden layer of darkness. Beyond the Roman Space Telescope, other projects are approaching the problem from different angles. Ground-based observatories continue refining their own microlensing surveys year after year. Some researchers are exploring entirely new methods, using radio waves instead of visible or infrared light. Each approach carries its own strengths and its own particular blind spots. Combined together, they slowly paint a fuller picture of this hidden population. It is a genuinely collaborative effort, spanning multiple countries and multiple generations of scientists. No single telescope and no single research team could ever complete this puzzle alone. It requires patience, cooperation, and a willingness to share data freely across borders. In many ways, this mirrors the patient, cooperative nature of the rogue planets themselves. Quiet, steady contributions, adding up slowly into something far larger than any single piece. Each observatory, each researcher, each late night spent watching a screen full of faint, flickering stars contributes a tiny piece to a much larger understanding. No single night feels significant on its own. Yet across years and across countries, those small, patient contributions eventually build something remarkable. A map, however incomplete, of worlds we will likely never visit, drifting quietly through the dark. It is worth appreciating how much international cooperation this kind of research actually requires. Data collected in Chile might be compared against data collected in Poland or Japan. Researchers across many time zones share findings constantly, checking each other's work carefully. This collaborative spirit rarely makes headlines, yet it forms the true backbone of modern astronomy. No single country and no single scientist could ever map this hidden population alone. It takes a patient, global community working quietly together year after year toward the same shared goal. Some rogue planets were once part of our own solar system story. Scientists have proposed a curious idea. Early in its history, our solar system may have had 5 giant planets, not 4. That 5th planet, they suggest, was flung out entirely. It vanished into interstellar space, sometime in the ancient past. It may still be drifting somewhere out there today, utterly disconnected from the family it once belonged to. This idea comes from analyzing the strange orbits of Uranus and Neptune. Their current paths are hard to explain with only 4 giant planets involved. Add a 5th, and the math works out far more cleanly. It is a strange thought to sit with. A missing sibling planet, somewhere out in the dark, carrying secrets about our own solar system's turbulent youth. We may never find it. Space is simply too vast, and the planet too dark. But it drifts on, regardless, indifferent to being missed. A quiet reminder that even our own cosmic neighborhood holds unfinished stories. Some astronomers have spent entire careers chasing this single hypothesis, running simulation after simulation, testing different masses and different ejection speeds. Each version tries to match the strange, tilted orbits we observe today. It is slow, careful work, with no guarantee of ever finding a definite answer. And yet, scientists continue, patiently, because the question itself feels worth answering. What kind of world was it? Was it icy, like Neptune? Was it rocky, closer to Earth in composition? We may never know for certain, but somewhere, drifting silently through the void, that answer continues to exist. Waiting, indifferent to whether we ever find it. A missing piece of our own solar system story, content simply to keep drifting. Some researchers have even tried estimating roughly where this missing planet might be today. Using its likely ejection speed and the billions of years since it happened, they calculate a probable distance. The numbers are almost unimaginable, stretching across thousands of light years of empty space, far beyond the reach of any current telescope, no matter how sensitive. It may simply remain forever unfound, a permanent, quiet mystery within our own cosmic family. There is something oddly touching about that possibility. A relative, of sorts, lost so completely that even careful calculation cannot bring it home. And yet, it does not need finding to remain real. It continues existing, exactly as it has, regardless of whether we ever locate it. Perhaps that is the most honest lesson this missing planet offers us tonight. Not every question needs an answer to still hold value. Not every search needs to succeed to still be worth attempting. The scientists studying this hypothesis know they may never confirm it directly. And yet, they continue refining their models patiently, because the search itself teaches us something about our solar system's turbulent youth, about the strange, hidden fates of planets we may never see again. Sometimes, the searching itself is the meaningful part, regardless of whether it ever concludes. There is a quiet dignity in that kind of sustained effort, worth appreciating tonight. So much of life involves searching for things we may never fully find or resolve. An answer, a feeling of certainty, a moment of complete understanding. And yet, the searching itself often brings its own quiet value, separate from ever reaching a final conclusion. The scientists chasing this missing planet know this well. They continue not because success is guaranteed, but because the process itself teaches them something worthwhile. Perhaps that is worth remembering tonight, as you let go of anything left unresolved from today. The searching mattered. The trying mattered. The outcome does not need to be settled before you rest. There is something worth noticing in how a rogue planet handles loss. It does not fight to return to its old orbit. It does not search desperately for a new star. It simply continues moving forward, exactly as physics dictates. No resistance, no struggle, only quiet acceptance of its new path. This is not a conscious choice, of course. Planets do not feel lost the way we do. But there is still a lesson worth borrowing from this image tonight. Sometimes, being pushed off a familiar path does not mean disaster. Sometimes, it simply means a different kind of existence begins. Not worse, not better, simply different, and still worth continuing. A rogue planet finds its own rhythm, eventually, steady, slow, and endless, moving through the dark at its own pace. There is a strange kind of dignity in that continuation. No orbit to prove its worth, no light to announce its presence, just quiet, ongoing existence, entirely on its own terms. Think about how differently humans usually respond to sudden change. We often resist it. We search for ways to reverse it or undo it, or return to what came before. A rogue planet offers a different model entirely. Once ejected, it does not spend any energy resisting its new path. It simply accepts the new trajectory, completely, without hesitation. This is not wisdom, of course. It is simply physics, following its own quiet rules without complaint. But there is still something worth noticing in that image tonight. Sometimes, the most peaceful response to change is not fighting it at all. Sometimes, it is releasing the old path entirely and trusting the new one instead, not because the new path is easier, simply because resistance costs more energy than acceptance ever will. A rogue planet teaches this lesson silently, drifting through the dark, without ever needing to say a word. There is a particular kind of freedom in that lack of resistance, worth noticing tonight. Imagine carrying no grudge against the star that once held you. Imagine feeling no need to explain, or justify, or mourn the path you no longer follow. A rogue planet simply moves forward, unburdened by any of that emotional weight. Of course, planets do not carry emotional weight in any real sense, but the image still offers something useful to sit with tonight. What would it feel like to release a difficult chapter this completely? Not forgetting it happened, simply no longer needing it to define every moment that follows. The planet does not erase its past. It simply continues onward, patient and steady, letting the past remain quietly behind it. This is perhaps the gentlest kind of resilience there is. Not loud recovery, not dramatic transformation. Simply quiet, steady continuation, one moment after another, without needing to prove anything to anyone. If a planet, flung violently from everything familiar, can find this kind of calm, so can you tonight. Whatever the day carried, whatever weight you brought into this room with you, it does not need solving right now. It only needs to be set down gently, the way a planet releases its old orbit, without struggle, and without needing to look back. Notice how much energy resistance actually requires, compared to simple release. A planet fighting to stay in an unstable orbit would need constant force, constant correction, constant effort. Letting go, by contrast, costs nothing at all. It simply happens, quietly. The moment resistance finally ends, your own tired mind may be holding onto something in exactly the same way tonight. A small worry, gripped tightly, requiring constant quiet effort to maintain. You do not need to fight to release it. You only need to notice you are holding it. And then, gently, let your grip soften completely. Let us talk about scale for a moment, because it helps put all of this in perspective. Space between stars is almost impossible to imagine. If our sun were the size of a golf ball, the nearest star would sit many miles away. A rogue planet drifting between these distant points would be utterly alone. No neighbor for millions, sometimes billions of miles in any direction. This kind of isolation barely exists anywhere else. Even in the emptiest desert on Earth, some form of life persists nearby. Even in the darkest ocean trench, some current still moves gently. A rogue planet experiences something closer to true isolation. And yet, it does not seem troubled by it. It simply drifts, exactly the way it always has. There is no anxiety in that motion, no urgency, only steady, patient continuation, mile after endless mile. Perhaps that is the quiet lesson tonight. Even total isolation does not have to mean distress. Sometimes, it simply means space to exist, undisturbed, exactly as you are. Astronomers sometimes use a simple comparison to help explain these vast distances. If Earth were reduced to the size of a marble, the sun would be roughly the size of a large beach ball, and the nearest star, at that same tiny scale, would still sit hundreds of miles away. A rogue planet drifting in the gaps between such distances experiences a kind of solitude almost impossible to picture. No nearby light, no nearby gravity, strong enough to pull it anywhere new. Just steady, uninterrupted motion, carrying it slowly through the dark. It is worth remembering that scale like this exists not to frighten us. It exists simply to help us appreciate how much room the universe actually contains. Room enough for endless solitude. Room enough, too, for quiet, patient rest tonight, right where you are. Astronomers sometimes remind beginners that the night sky is deceptively crowded looking, even though the actual distances involved are almost entirely empty space. Stars that appear close together may sit many trillions of miles apart in reality. Their light simply happens to travel toward Earth along similar paths, creating a false sense of closeness. A rogue planet drifting between them experiences the true, staggering emptiness directly. Not the comforting illusion of crowded stars, but the honest, vast distances between them. This honesty, oddly, can feel calming rather than frightening. It removes the pressure of comparison entirely. There is no nearby neighbor to measure against, no crowded space demanding attention or interaction, only open, quiet room, exactly enough for one lonely planet to simply exist. There is a certain relief in imagining space this vast and this generous. No overcrowding, no competition for room or light or resources, simply endless space, patiently accommodating whatever quiet, wandering things happen to drift through it. your own mind can borrow the same generous openness tonight. There is enough room here, in this quiet moment, for every stray thought to simply exist without urgency. No need to organize them. No need to resolve them into anything final tonight. Just space, wide and patient, allowing everything to settle exactly where it lands. There is a particular relief in imagining a space with no rules about where things belong. No thought is out of place here. No feeling needs to justify its own presence tonight. Everything is simply permitted to exist, quietly, the way a rogue planet is permitted to drift wherever gravity happens to carry it. This kind of permission is rare during an ordinary day, filled with expectations and schedules. But tonight, in this quiet room, that pressure does not apply. You can let your mind wander freely, without needing it to arrive anywhere useful, simply drifting, the way the coldest, quietest corners of the galaxy have always drifted, patient and undisturbed. Rogue planets may also help scientists understand life beyond Earth in a new way. For years, researchers searched mainly near stars, in what is called the habitable zone. That is the region where temperatures allow liquid water on a planet's surface. But rogue planets challenge that entire framework. If life can exist using internal heat alone, sunlight may not be required at all. This idea connects closely to life found deep in Earth's oceans. Near hydrothermal vents, sunlight never reaches the seafloor. Yet entire ecosystems thrive there, powered only by heat from below. If something similar could happen on a rogue planet, the search for life expands dramatically. No longer limited to planets near a star, potentially including billions of drifting, starless worlds instead. It is a humbling thought. Life, if it exists elsewhere, might not need a sun at all. It might simply need warmth, water, and enough time to develop. All three of these things, a rogue planet could quietly provide, hidden deep beneath its icy shell. Some researchers have started calling this idea the dark habitable zone, a gentle nod to the traditional habitable zone found near stars, but entirely independent of sunlight, existing wherever heat and water happen to coexist. This shift in thinking has broadened the entire search for life dramatically. Instead of scanning only nearby stars for promising planets, scientists now consider a much wider range of possibilities. Perhaps life does not need a sun at all. Perhaps it only needs time, chemistry, and a source of warmth, however small. If that is true, rogue planets may be far more significant than anyone once assumed. Not empty, frozen wastelands, but potential quiet cradles, hidden throughout the galaxy, waiting patiently, indifferent to whether we ever manage to find them. This shift also changes how we think about the sheer scale of possibility in our galaxy. If life requires only heat, water, and time, the number of candidate worlds grows enormously, no longer limited to a narrow ring of space around each star, suddenly including any planet, anywhere, with enough internal warmth to sustain liquid water. That is an extraordinary expansion of possibility, based on a single shift in assumption. Scientists are careful not to overstate this. Possibility is not proof, but possibility alone is often enough to justify continued careful searching. Every confirmed discovery in the history of astronomy began exactly this way. A quiet hypothesis, patiently tested, slowly gathering evidence, until certainty eventually followed. Consider how this same pattern applies to nearly every major scientific breakthrough in history. Someone first had to imagine something considered unlikely, or even faintly ridiculous at the time. Then, slowly, carefully, evidence accumulated in its favor. Eventually, what once seemed strange became simply, quietly, accepted as fact. The idea of a dark habitable zone may follow exactly this same patient path. Strange today, ordinary, perhaps, within a few more decades of careful, dedicated research. Scientists working in this field often describe a particular feeling that comes with studying such open questions, a mixture of humility and excitement, sitting side by side. Humility, because so much remains genuinely unknown. Excitement, because that same uncertainty means real discovery still lies ahead. Few fields offer that combination as clearly as the search for life beyond Earth. Rogue planets, once considered a strange footnote, now sit near the center of that exciting uncertainty, quiet, dark, and patient, holding secrets that may take generations to fully uncover. Perhaps that is exactly why this subject fits so naturally into a night meant for rest. Big questions rarely need urgent answers. They simply need patient attention, returned to gently, over years, or even generations. Tonight, you do not need to solve any of it. You only need to rest, knowing the questions will still be there, waiting patiently, whenever curious minds return to them again. What happens to a rogue planet over truly long stretches of time? The answer, mostly, is nothing dramatic at all. It simply continues drifting, exactly as it has for millions of years. No sun to eventually die and destroy it. No orbit to eventually decay and collapse. Just steady, uneventful movement, stretching across unimaginable timescales. Some scientists believe rogue planets may be some of the most durable objects in the universe. Long after most stars have burned out and gone dark, these lonely worlds may still be drifting quietly, carrying, perhaps, their hidden oceans, still liquid, still slowly moving beneath the ice. It is strange to imagine a future so distant that stars themselves have mostly faded. And yet, somewhere in that future, rogue planets likely continue on, unaffected, outliving the very stars that once dominated the sky above them. There is something oddly comforting in that endurance. Stability that does not depend on anything external at all. Just quiet, internal continuation, indifferent to everything happening elsewhere in the universe. Consider what happens to stars over enormous stretches of time. Eventually, even the longest-lived stars run out of fuel. They dim, then fade, then go completely dark. The galaxy itself will grow steadily quieter over trillions of years. Fewer bright points, more empty, silent space between them. In that distant future, rogue planets may become unusually significant. Among the very last objects still drifting, still intact, still carrying whatever warmth remains inside them, long after the stars that once lit the sky have gone silent forever. It is a strange kind of legacy. Not fame, not brightness, simply quiet, patient endurance, stretching far beyond anything else in the galaxy. There is something worth appreciating in that kind of staying power, built not on energy or light, but on simple, steady persistence. Physicists studying the far future of the universe describe an era called the Degenerate Age, a time when stars have mostly gone dark, and the universe grows steadily colder and quieter. In that distant future, rogue planets may continue drifting, largely unaffected by the fading light around them, carrying, perhaps, whatever hidden warmth remains inside them, for a very long time still to come. It is difficult to picture a future this distant with any real clarity, but the pattern itself feels worth remembering tonight. Systems built on external light and energy eventually fade with their source. Systems built on internal, self-sustained warmth can continue far longer, quietly, independently, without needing anything from outside at all. There is a quiet lesson in that distinction, worth carrying with you tonight. Some kinds of strength depend entirely on outside conditions, remaining favorable. Other kinds of strength come from within, steady regardless of what happens elsewhere. Neither kind is wrong, but the second kind tends to endure longer, through changes it cannot control. A rogue planet embodies that second kind of strength completely, not dependent on a star, not dependent on anything except its own steady, internal continuation. Even the language scientists use to describe this reflects something almost gentle. Terms like thermal inertia and radiogenic heating sound clinical at first, but they describe something quietly remarkable. A planet carrying its own warmth forward, patiently, across billions of years, needing nothing from outside to keep going. It is a kind of self-sufficiency rarely found anywhere else in nature, not resistance to change. Simply quiet independence from anything external ever being required at all. That independence, borrowed gently tonight, can settle into your own tired body as well. You do not need anything external to justify this rest either. No permission needed, no condition to meet first. Simply the quiet, internal permission to finally, completely let go. It is worth remembering how young this entire field of study really is. Scientists only seriously proposed rogue planets a few decades ago. For a long time, the idea seemed almost too strange to take seriously. A planet, wandering completely alone, with no star at all. It sounded more like fiction than real astronomy. Then the first confirmed detections arrived, through careful, patient observation. Suddenly, an entire hidden population of worlds became undeniably real. Since then, our estimates have only grown larger. What once seemed rare may actually be common throughout the galaxy. This shift says something important about how science progresses. Ideas that once sound impossible sometimes become accepted fact, given enough patient evidence. Rogue planets remind us to stay curious, even about things that seem unlikely at first. The universe often holds far more than we initially expect. Somewhere out there, right now, thousands of newly ejected planets may be drifting into darkness for the very first time. It is worth remembering how skepticism often shapes scientific progress in a healthy way. When the first rogue planet candidates appeared in data, many researchers assumed they were errors, instrument glitches, misread signals, anything more likely than an entirely new class of planet. It took repeated observations across different telescopes and different research teams to finally confirm the idea. This careful, cautious process is exactly how good science is supposed to work. Slow, methodical, resistant to accepting extraordinary claims without extraordinary evidence. Once confirmed, however, the scientific community embraced the idea quickly and thoroughly. Entire research programs shifted focus toward finding and studying these lonely worlds. What began as a skeptical footnote became one of the more active fields in modern astronomy. It is a reminder that good ideas sometimes need patience before they are believed, and that the universe often exceeds our expectations once we finally look closely enough. This same pattern of cautious skepticism, followed by gradual acceptance, appears throughout the history of science. Continental drift was once dismissed as an impossible idea. Black holes were once considered a strange mathematical curiosity, unlikely to exist in reality. Even exoplanets, now confirmed by the thousands, were once treated with significant doubt by many astronomers. Rogue planets simply joined this long tradition of ideas that seemed unlikely until careful evidence proved otherwise. It is worth remembering this pattern whenever something new and strange enters scientific conversation. Doubt is not the enemy of discovery. It is often the necessary first step, ensuring that only well-supported ideas eventually take hold. Rogue planets survived that scrutiny and emerged stronger, better understood, and firmly established as real. There is something reassuring in knowing an idea can survive that much careful questioning. It suggests the idea was genuinely solid all along, not simply lucky or convenient. The same could be said for many things we come to trust over time. Careful scrutiny, when survived honestly, tends to build something more durable than blind acceptance ever could. Tonight, whatever quiet doubts remain in your own mind, you do not need to resolve them immediately. Like any good idea, they can withstand a little patient, gentle waiting. There is a quiet parallel here worth noticing before we move on. Just as scientists needed patience to confirm rogue planets were real, you may need patience with yourself tonight. Not every worry needs an immediate answer. Not every thought needs resolving before sleep can finally arrive. Some things simply need time and gentle attention, the same way any careful scientific question does. Let your own uncertainties rest tonight, unresolved, exactly the way this field once rested, patiently, before its evidence finally arrived. Good ideas, much like good rest, rarely need to be rushed. Both simply need enough quiet space and enough patient time to fully settle into place. As we come toward the end of our journey tonight, let us sit with one final image. A planet, once part of a bustling solar system, now drifting completely alone. No sunrise, no sunset, no changing seasons to mark the passage of time. Just one long, endless night, stretching on forever. And yet, it endures, not fighting, not struggling, simply continuing, exactly as it is, patiently, indefinitely. There is a quiet strength in that kind of endurance. No audience required. No light needed to prove its existence matters. It simply exists, complete in itself, regardless of who notices. You are allowed to borrow a little of that same quiet strength tonight. You do not need anyone watching to justify your rest. You do not need permission to simply exist quietly, right now. Let your body settle fully into this moment. Let your thoughts soften and drift and slowly fade. Nothing more is required of you tonight than simple, unhurried rest. Consider for a moment everything that had to happen for a planet to reach this state. It had to form, gather mass, survive collisions, and endure a chaotic youth. Then, it had to be pushed out, gently or violently, into open space. And finally, it had to learn, in its own physical way, how to simply continue. None of this happened quickly. None of it happened without difficulty along the way. And yet, here it is, still drifting, still whole, still quietly persisting through the dark. There is something worth borrowing from that entire journey tonight. Whatever difficulty brought you to this exact tired moment, you are still here, still breathing, still capable of rest. That alone is enough tonight. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to let your body settle and your thoughts soften and allow sleep to arrive in its own time. Think for a moment about how many quiet, difficult beginnings eventually settle into calm. A storm eventually passes, leaving still air behind it. A wound eventually heals, leaving quiet skin behind it. A planet, violently ejected from its home, eventually settles into steady, peaceful drifting. Difficulty, it seems, rarely lasts forever. Even when it feels endless in the moment. Somewhere ahead, calm is usually waiting, patiently, for enough time to pass. Tonight, you do not need to rush toward that calm. You only need to trust that it is there, waiting, the same way it waited for every rogue planet that ever settled into its own quiet, endless drift. Trust does not require proof, not always. Sometimes, it simply requires patience and a willingness to keep going, even without seeing the outcome clearly yet. A rogue planet does not know, in any conscious sense, that calm awaits it after ejection. It simply continues moving, and the calm eventually arrives, exactly as physics guarantees it will. You can trust something similar tonight. Rest is waiting for you, quietly, exactly where it always is. You do not need to search for it. You only need to stop resisting and let it arrive on its own gentle time. Think of everything that had to align, quietly, for this planet's story to unfold. The right mass, the right ejection speed, the right amount of internal heat. None of it forced, none of it rushed. Simply the slow, patient alignment of countless small factors over an enormous span of time. Your own rest tonight requires something similar, not force, not effort, simply the quiet alignment of a tired body, a softening mind, and a moment finally free of demands. Let all three settle together now, gently, the way a planet settles into its final steady orbit through the dark. There is no rush required for any of this, only patience and a willingness to let sleep arrive exactly when it is ready. As we slowly drift back now, from the darkness between the stars, let everything we explored tonight settle gently into your mind. We met planets with no sun, drifting freely through endless space. We learned how some were cast out, and others were born already alone. We considered the hidden oceans that might exist beneath their frozen surfaces, and we thought about the strange, quiet dignity of existing without needing a star at all. Through all of it, one idea remained close. Being alone does not always mean being lost. Sometimes, it simply means moving at your own steady pace, undisturbed and complete. There is nothing more you need to carry with you tonight. Let that quiet planet keep drifting, somewhere far above you, patient and unhurried. Let your own thoughts drift just as gently now, and let yourself sink deeper into a slow, peaceful rest of your own. Somewhere, right now, a newly ejected planet may be leaving its solar system for the very first time. Somewhere else, a planet born entirely alone may be settling into its first few million years of quiet drifting. And somewhere, deep beneath layers of ancient ice, a hidden ocean may be moving slowly, warmed by heat from within. None of it needs your attention tonight. None of it needs solving, or understanding, or even remembering clearly. It simply continues, exactly as it always has, patient and constant, regardless of who is watching. You are allowed to let all of it go now, gently, the way a hand slowly opens and releases whatever it was holding. Think back, for just a moment, to where our journey began tonight. With a single, lonely planet, drifting silently through open space. We followed its story, from violent beginnings to quiet, permanent solitude. We considered the hidden oceans that might rest beneath its frozen surface, and we thought about what it means to continue, steadily, without needing anyone to notice. You do not need to remember every detail of this journey. You only need to carry with you the same quiet patience that guided it. a willingness to keep drifting gently without needing every answer right away. There is a quiet symmetry in ending our night this way. We began by imagining a lonely world, drifting through endless darkness. And now, here you are, resting in your own quiet darkness, ready for sleep. Two different kinds of stillness, meeting gently, for just this one night. Let the last of tonight's thoughts settle now, the way dust settles slowly through still air. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to understand, just this soft, unhurried drift, carrying you gently toward rest. Let every worry from today grow a little quieter now. Let every unfinished thought simply pause, unresolved, exactly where it stands. None of it needs finishing before sleep can arrive. It can all wait, patiently, the way distant starlight waits years to finally reach us. You are not required to catch every thought tonight. You are only required to rest, softly, letting the rest continue on without you, exactly as it always does. Somewhere far above, that lonely planet you imagine tonight is still drifting, patient and unhurried. It will still be there tomorrow, exactly as calm, exactly as steady, whether you think of it again or not. Let that certainty carry you now, gently, the rest of the way towards sleep. Nothing about it needs your effort anymore, only your quiet trust and your willingness to finally let go completely. If you are still here with us, another quiet journey is waiting for you soon, whenever you are ready to return to it. And if tonight helped carry you closer to sleep, a like, a subscribe, or a gentle comment helps other tired minds find their way here too. There is nothing left to think about tonight, nothing left to solve, or plan, or worry over, now or in the morning. Just this quiet room, this soft darkness, and your own slow, steady breathing. Somewhere out there, a lone planet continues drifting, exactly as it always has. It does not need your attention to keep existing. You do not need to stay awake to keep the universe turning. Let your body remain heavy and warm and still. Let your thoughts soften and fade and drift apart gently. Whatever tomorrow holds, it can wait. For now, there is only this room, this breath, and the quiet, patient dark around you. From the sleep journal, and from one tired mind to another, across the soft, patient dark of tonight. Let this be enough for tonight. Let the quiet weight of everything we explored together, the wandering planets, the hidden oceans, the endless patient drifting, settle gently around you now, asking nothing more of you than simple, unhurried rest, exactly as you are, exactly where you are, right here, right now. There is nothing left to figure out tonight. There is nothing left to plan, or calculate, or worry into place before you finally rest. The planets will keep drifting whether you think of them or not. The stars will keep burning, slowly, whether you watch them or not. All that is asked of you right now is exactly what is asked of a lonely, wandering world. Nothing at all, beyond simply continuing to drift, softly, toward wherever rest happens to be waiting for you tonight. Let this be enough. Let the quiet weight of tonight's journey settle fully around you now, complete, undemanding, and calm. Somewhere out there, a lone planet continues its slow, endless drift, exactly as it has for millions of years. It does not need you awake to keep existing. It does not need your understanding to keep being real. You are free, completely, to close your eyes now and let it drift on without you. Let your breathing settle into its own final, unhurried rhythm. Let your body remain heavy, warm, and still, exactly as it is. There is nothing left to do tonight except simply rest, gently, the way that lonely planet rests in its own vast, quiet corner of the universe. Let this final thought stay with you as everything else fades. Somewhere, tonight, a planet with no sun continues drifting, calm and complete, exactly as it is. Not lost, not broken, simply existing, quietly, on its own steady terms. You are allowed that same quiet completeness tonight, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. Nothing more needs adding, nothing more needs fixing. Only rest, waiting patiently, ready to receive you now. Nothing else remains. Only quiet, only stillness, only sleep, arriving gently, exactly when you are ready to let it. Let your final breath tonight be slow and deep and completely unhurried. Let it carry you, gently, past every remaining thought, into the soft, quiet dark of sleep. From the sleep journal, and from one tired mind to another, across the soft, patient dark of tonight. Sleep well, rest gently, and good night. Wherever you are, whatever tonight brought you, you are allowed this rest, fully and completely, right now. Thank you for spending this quiet hour with us tonight. We hope it carried you gently, all the way into rest. Until next time, sleep well, rest completely, and please take very good care of yourself tonight and always. We will see you again soon for another quiet, peaceful journey through the stars.